Good evening, everyone. Today we will study microorganism. Yesterday, in last class, we had studied cell and structure. So today we will study microorganism. Microorganism means मैथ्स में आपने सबने पढ़ा होगा माइक्रो जो एक क्वांटिटी होती है means minute. So in environment there is a some minute organisms are also there which are commonly called microorganism. Different types of microorganism are there and we will study about them. Now, study of microorganism. What is called the study of microorganism? Study of microorganism is called microbiology. Microbiology. There is a whole subject on microorganism which is called microbiology. Father of microbiology is called father of microbiology. Father of microbiology, atom 1, Leeuwenhoek. There must be some spelling mistake, but atom 1, Leeuwenhoek is the father of microbiology. Now, microorganisms are also called oblique कर लिए oblique microbes. Microbes. Now, there are different categories of microorganism. Let's see. First one is bacteria. Second one is protozoa. Third one is algae. Next one, fungi. And last one is virus. We will discuss all of them one by one. So, first we will discuss about bacteria. Before discussing, there is most important point, that is microorganism may be unicellular or multicellular. Multicellular means more than one cell and unicellular means made up of single cell. Single cell microorganism example like bacteria, and multi-cell organism like fungi and algae. They are multicellular, maybe multicellular or unicellular. Now we will first study about the bacteria. First microorganism is बैक्टीरिया की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो बैक्टीरिया एक यूनिसेलुलर प्रोकैरियोटिक टर्म आई had usually taught you. बैक्टीरिया जो होता है यूनिसेलुलर है, प्रोकैरियोटिक है. प्रोकैरियोटिक मीन्स अनडिफाइंड या अनडेवलप्ड nucleus. Alright, this is a microorganism, unicellular microorganism. Firstly, the bacteria was reported by Firstly, bacteria was reported by A.V. Leeuwenhoek. A.V. Leeuwenhoek. They are also called the father of microbiology. All right. Now, about bacteria, we have already studied in the last class. Bacteria, about bacterial cell wall, types of bacteria. Let's see again. Bacteria, bacterial cell wall made up of N-muramic acid and peptidoglycan. Type of bacteria, that is gram positive and gram negative. This category, this categorization of bacteria is based on the stain which they perceive. Mostly there are gram negative type bacteria. These are the few things which are important about the bacteria and important for exam point of view, and few examples are there, like lactobacillus and rhizobium. Lactobacillus and rhizobium. All right, this is all about bacteria, which are most important points for the exam point of view, and this is all about bacteria which you have to know. Next, about next thing about the bacteria is shape of bacteria. There is also a categorization of bacteria on the basis of shape. Bacillus means rod shaped bacteria. Rod shaped bacteria. Vibrio कॉमा शेप होता है, एंड स्पाइरल शेप, फोकस शेप, फोकस राउंड शेप होता है, स्पाइरल मींस स्प्रिंग, स्प्रिंग शेप, विब्रियो कॉमा शेप होता है, rods are rigid bacteria. This is the classification of bacteria on the basis of shape. Bacillus rod shape, this may be like this, which is rigid in structure. Vibrio comma shape, and spring spiral shape होता है, and coccus round shape. Example of bacillus, which is important for exam point of view, that is E. coli. Alright, which is present in small intestine of human beings. Let's talk about the next type of microorganism, that is fungi. Fungi means they are usually saprophytic. Saprophytic means which feeds on dead and decay matter. All right. So nutrition is saprophytic type. Saprophytic type of nutrition. Saprophytic type means feeds on dead and decay matter. Usually आप लोग ने देखा होगा बारिश के दौरान सड़ी गली लकड़ियों पर फंजाई जो होती है वो ग्रो करती है. ठीक है. Fungi is also a unicellular and multicellular. Both type of fungi are there. If you talk about the cell wall of fungi, it is made up of another type of substance called chitin. Means chitinous cell wall is present in fungi. Cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin. This may be an important point for exam point of view, that fungi cell wall is made up of. Some diseases are also caused by fungi, like ringworms, athlete foot disease. There are some diseases which are caused by fungi. Fungi is heterotrophic in nature, means they obtain their food from another ones. Alright, they do not synthesize their own food because they lack pigment for photosynthesis. They don't have a pigment. That's why they depends on other for their food. Next, now fungi is sometimes multicellular, sometimes unicellular. When it is multicellular, then their small segment is called, you can also say, a structural unit of fungi, small segment of fungi is called fungal hyphae. This is all about the fungi which you need to know. Let's see another type of microorganism, that is algae. Algae, you have seen, everyone has seen algae. Different types of algae are there. If we talk about the algae, photosynthesizing pigment is present, means algae have a pigment which help them to make their food. Means photosynthesis, process of photosynthesis is performed in algae. Different type of chlorophyll are also present in algae. Now, cell wall made up of cellulose. Algae is also unicellular and multicellular. Algae भी यूनिसेलुलर होती है और मल्टीसेलुलर भी होती है, कॉलोनियल भी होती है और सिंसिटियल भी होती है. कॉलोनियल मीन्स कॉलोनी फॉर्म में रहना, क्लस्टर में रहना. Algae have a thallus-like structure. All right. Thallus means cluster. Thallus means cluster. Cluster means a group of cells. All right. Group of cells together to form a cluster called thallus. So algae has a thallus-like structure. Next, the smallest structural unit of thallus is called prothallus. All right. This is about the algae. The important points in this is cell wall, cellular and multi photosynthetic pigment present in algae and thallus. These 3 points are important for the exam point of view, and you should remember this. Now, next microorganism is one more point about algae. Some algae are parasitic also. Next, protozoa. Protozoa is a phylum in animal kingdom which comprises a eukaryotic unicellular organism. Eukaryotic unicellular organism means there is a single cell in which well developed nucleus is present. All right. Single cell or unicellular. Well developed nucleus reproduced by conjugation and fission. Fission comprises binary and multiple. This type of reproduction is also present in bacteria. Fission is also present in bacteria. It may be longitudinal or transverse division. Next is eukaryotic cell membrane. Eukaryotic type of cell wall is present. All right, and protozoa. Some protozoa. Some protozoa have food photosynthesizing pigment. Photosynthesizing pigment. Example, euglena. This is an important example, and you should remember this, that euglena have a pigment which help him to make their own food. All right. This is all about the protozoa. This point is very important for exam point of view. They may be asked the example of protozoa which contain and photosynthesizing pigment. Next type of microorganism is virus. Virus. It is not a virus of computer. It is a virus of nature. All right. It may be infecting plant or animal. If you talk about the virus, virus is a you can say living or non-living both. Non-living, living and non-living both. All right, because when they are outside the body, when they are outside the body, they are non-living type of organism. When they are inside the host and outside the host. They are also called connecting link between living and non-living. Also called connecting link between living and non-living. Alright. Due to this property, they are called connecting link between living and non-living. Now, genetic material in RNA. Genetic material in virus is usually RNA. Few viruses have DNA as a genetic material. Alright, but most of the virus have a RNA as a genetic material. Now, few example: TMV, tobacco, mosaic virus. It has a RNA as genetic material. All right. This type of virus is present in tobacco plant. Now, one more important thing about virus, that animal virus type which infect animal, they only can infect in animal, not in plant. If a virus is plant infecting, they cannot infect in animal. All right. Life cycle. If we talk about the life cycle of virus, it may be lytic or lysogenic. May be lytic or lysogenic. Now, what is mean by lytic and lysogenic? If we talk about the lytic type of life cycle, in this virus kill the host. All right. The body in which virus is developing, it kills the host, and lysogenic, in lysogenic type of life cycle, virus does not kill the host. They multiply inside the host. All right. So this is all about the virus. All right. One more thing, that leave it, leave it. Now, These microorganisms are used for different purposes. All right. They also cause disease. They also use for commercial purpose for human welfare. All right. Now let's see human friendly virus. Oh, microorganism. Human friendly microorganism means microorganism which are useful to human. First one, lactobacillus. This type of bacteria used in curd making. Bacteria used in curd making. All right. For dough making, yeast. Yeast. Common scientific name of yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. All right. Used in dough making. Dough making means like in bhatura, chola bhatura. Next, next type of microorganism used in cheese making. Propionibacterium shermani. Propionibacterium used in cheese making. Now, one more important point about the cheese making, that the the holes which seen in cheese, they are due to the release of due to release of gas called CO2. All right, CO2 is released in dough also and cheese also. This is the important question for exam point of view. All right, this is these are few examples of human friendly microorganism. One more example of microorganism which is used in research purpose, that is E. coli. E. coli for research purpose, which is present in small intestine of human. All right. These are the microorganisms used in human welfare. Now, one more term is related to yeast, that is fermentation. All right. Now let's see what is fermentation. Conversion of sugar or glucose into alcohol in absence of oxygen. This is called fermentation. Animal organism use yeast. All right. Another fermentation is also occur in human body. That is, there is a organic molecule which accept the glucose molecule, that is lactic acid. Fermentation also occur in human body. Its final product is lactic acid. Lactic acid is a product of fermentation which occur when we perform rigorous exercise. Alright, there is a pain occur in muscles due to the accumulation of lactic acid. Alright, this is all about the fermentation and it is the important topic for exam point of view. Next, now medicinal uses of microorganism. Lots of use, there is a lots of use of microorganism in medical field. Let's see. Microorganism generally used for in medical field to form vaccine and to produce antibody. All right, antibiotics which stimulate body to produce antibody. Plus sign indicates means it stimulates human body to produce antibody. Antibody are two types. Antibiotics are two types: broad spectrum and narrow spectrum. Broad spectrum antibodies are used in various diseases. More than one type of disease, yeah, more than 5 types or 10 types. And narrow spectrum antibodies which are used in few types of diseases. They are called narrow spectrum antibodies. Vaccines. Vaccine are usually two types, or three types. Recombinant vaccine, live attenuated vaccine, or toxoid. Alright, recombinant vaccine, when we when we join two types of genetic material to stimulate the human body to release antibody. Live attenuated vaccine, when we make less active virus into less active virus, they are called live attenuated vaccine. And toxoid are heat killed vaccine. Heat kill means when we kill the virus and release into the body of human to stimulate body to release antibody. Alright, this is all about the medicinal purpose of microorganism. We will look brief in antibiotics. Next lecture we will talk about the brief in antibiotics. All right. So get prepared for the exam. Keep on preparing and wait for the next lecture. Thank you. Class is over.